evening, everybody. I'm Bob Schachter. I'm the Executive Director of the New York City chapter of the National Association of Social Workers. And before we start the program, before I say any words to introduce anything, I want to invite Dean Susan Egan of the Fordham University Graduate School of Social Service to welcome us all here.
Good evening. I'm here simply to, on behalf of Dean Vaughn and the faculty at Fordham University, to welcome you here tonight. I know some of our graduates are out there in the audience, and we're just glad we have a large enough space to host this. So I've not been involved in the planning of the program, but I understand it's very exciting. We have a panel of experts in the audience. We know there are a variety of people who are here for a variety of different reasons that I'm sure you'll hear more about as the evening goes on. So I'm excited about the evening, and I hope that some really positive things will come out of it. Thanks.
Just want to ask, there were people on a wait list. Have they all been invited to come in? So everybody who came tonight here has been allowed in. So if anybody, I don't think we're going to have to turn anybody away tonight. As we get started, I just want to share with you who's in the room tonight. We, as many of you know, we sent out a survey about a week or a week and a half ago to get some information about why people wanted to come to this forum on the challenge of the exam. And what we found out was that this is about 200 people out of 400, actually 200 people out of 450 responding to this survey. It's a pretty representative sample, one would think. We can assume that 36% of the people in the room have taken the exam at least once and maybe more and have failed it. 34% of the people responding to the survey told us that they had delayed taking the exam since graduating in their NASW program. And people can check off as many different things as they want, so this doesn't roll that up to 100%. %25% of the people here we can assume are students who haven't taken the exam yet. And why you're here as a student isn't quite clear, whether you just want to get all the information you can, or you're very, very worried about ultimately being able to pass the exam. About 19% said that they are in macro practice, and they're concerned that having studied community organizing or policy or some area similar to that, administration perceiving the exam to be more direct practice related is a concern, and so a good number of people here are here for that reason. And that 23% said that their employer is expecting them to take the exam, or you could imagine that agencies that have been exempt from requiring licensed social workers, those exemptions for agencies is going to, we expect to end. About 23% of the people in this room are here for that reason. Interestingly, and this is part of what we want to walk away with in a sense, 30% said that they were interested in being able to participate in a peer study group. And we're going to come back to that as we move through this program. And 3% are here because they are here to support their colleagues and want to be able to help. And we had wanted people to come who feel that way, and we'd like to somehow to connect with those people. And we have some ideas about how to do that. For example, we'll talk a little more about this later. we're creating an online message board so people can connect with one another following this activity. Two more pieces of information from the survey is that we have heard for years a great deal about social workers whose English is a second language, and that because English is a second language has been associated with people having a difficult time with the exam. We've heard that just time and again from many different sectors within the field. The people here tonight, and we don't know if this is underrepresentation or what you would expect, 18% said that they English is a second language for them. I don't know if we should have expected that to be 50% or what, but that's what the survey told us. And the final piece of information from the survey I'll just share with you is that 52% shared with us that they are not members of NASW, and 48% are members of NASW. And I just want to express the fact that NASW is a membership organization, and we have the resources that we have through membership dues, and we wanted to include everybody, member or not member, as a service to the social work community. But we also want to really strongly encourage everybody who's not a member to join. Because if you want to take the test prep workshop, for example, that NASW offers, it's coming up in February, it'll almost pay for your membership. And there are many other things. We know that many social workers aren't able to keep up with changes in licensing law because they don't hear about it. Members of NASW are notified when there's changes, and a lot of people aren't aware of developments, so good reason to join. So moving a little bit more into the program, I just want to say a few things and then introduce the panelists, and we'll move along. We want to stick to our timetable as much as we possibly can. We plan to start at 6:30. We actually started a few minutes early just to get a jump on this. The planning group, the work group from our board of directors that planned tonight, had a very, very important thing that they wanted to accomplish. When talking about why people have trouble with the exam, and really a lot of trouble with the exam, not passing or not wanting to take the exam or anticipating not passing. The thing that we focused in on in experience is that the test is enormously anxiety-provoking. And I've known forever that, of course, that's true. But I think in discussing it in this context, it really hit me very, very hard about how powerful a role anxiety plays in affecting one's test performance, understanding the questions, and you know, there's so many different ways in which this can play out, and people have many different reasons or experiences around this. But that was a very important focus, and one of the things that was discussed is how our own thinking about how we feel about it, whether we're pessimistic about the exam, frightened about it, or what we tell ourselves, can play a very big role, and referred to as our self-talk. And being able to be aware of that and to be able to perhaps counter that in some way is something we want to be able to address tonight. The other thing is that we want to be able to say to you, here we are in a room with 400 people. The message is, you are not alone about your worries about this exam. And that's a very important thing. If we just be able to help you understand that, this is a very singular, isolating kind of experience to have to take this test yourself. We want to say that there are many, many issues with this. People go through a lot of agonizing things about it, but you're not alone. This is something that a vast amount of social workers are going through. So much is on the line. with having to take an exam in order to get licensed to practice social work. So much is on the line. You put money into going to school, and then if you're going to be blocked from a career in social work and employment and being able to earn a living, to take care of your family, obviously the stakes couldn't be higher. And that's something that almost everybody in this room, I think, would be sharing. Okay? We want to be able to at least say that that is actually, in effect, a normal experience for people to be going through. And we want to be able to express that tonight.